Hello friends, welcome to the session on 8051 microcontroller unit. In this session, we'll be discussing about 8051 branching instructions. In this session, we will see what we mean by branching instructions for the microcontroller unit 8051. We will see how to write these branching instructions and how to make the use of them in the assembly language programs. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, and do subscribe to the channel to see many other videos on the various topics of the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by branching instruction for the microcontroller unit 8051. Friends, you know that 8051 is a very useful microcontroller and it can be used in the embedded systems. Whenever we want to write any program for this microcontroller unit, then we need to make the use of instructions. Instructions can be classified into different categories such as data transfer, arithmetic, logical, branching, subroutine, and bit manipulation. As far as this session is concerned, we will be discussing about branching instructions for the microcontroller unit 8051. We know that any instruction is a binary pattern, and this instruction is being designed to perform a specific function. And we know that 8051 has many instructions. Now, whenever we write any assembly language program, then the assembly language program will consist of a sequence of instructions. And these instructions will be executed sequentially, one after the other. But many times, while writing the program, it is necessary for us to jump from one instruction to another instruction. And in that case, we can make the use of branching instructions. So branching instructions are those instructions that will alter the sequential flow of the program. And by using these instructions, we can jump from one instruction to the another instruction. And for this jump, we can make the use of either conditional jump or unconditional jump. That is, we will jump by checking some condition, or we will jump without checking by any condition. And also you will find that the flags are affected whenever we execute such instructions. In unconditional jump, the control is being transferred from one instruction to another instruction. And for this, we will not check any condition. And in case of conditional jump, the control is being transferred from one instruction to another instruction, and it is based on certain flag value. So now let us start the discussion of the different jump instructions. The first jump instruction is being called as a long jump. It is written as LJMP followed by address, 16-bit address. So LJMP will cause an unconditional branch to the indicated address by loading the program counter with the 16-bit address. The second and third byte of the instruction is the address. So for example, whenever we write LJMP 1200, then the content of 1200 will be transferred to the program counter. And we know that the program counter will hold the address of the next instruction to be executed, and therefore the jump will take place. So for example, while writing the assembly language program, we can make the use of the label such as LJMP followed by target. And target is the label of the instruction such as move RO, A. Then you will find that whenever this instruction LJMP will be executed, then the control will be transferred to the instruction that is labeled as target. Another instruction is the short jump, or sometimes we call it as a SJMP, and it is followed by the relative address. So the branch destination in this case is being computed by adding the sign displacement to the content of the program counter. And therefore it branches from 128 bytes preceding this instruction to 128 bytes following it. That is, whenever there is a forward jump, then the number will be positive, and whenever there is a backward jump, then this number will be negative. So observe that here what we are doing is that we are making the use of relative address. Say for example, when we write the instructions such as sjmp25, then this address along with the relative address is being computed and that is being transferred to the program counter. Say for example, if in an assembly language program, if we use the instructions such as sjmp followed by the label target, and suppose the target is the label of the instruction move ro comma a, where the address of the instruction is 1152, and suppose the content of the program counter initially is 1122, then in that case the relative address will be computed by making the use of target minus PC, because the target address is 1152 and the PC address is 1122, and therefore the difference is the 30, and therefore this relative address will be added into the PC address to get the target address. Another instruction is the jump followed by at a plus dptr. That is, the content of a is being added with the 16-bit content of the data pointer, and this 16-bit is being loaded to the program counter. So neither a nor the data pointer is altered and no flags are affected because of this instruction. So we can write this instruction such as jump at a plus dptr. So whatever is the content of a plus the content of the dptr will be transferred to the program counter so that the jump will take place. Another jump is the absolute jump, and this jump is being written as ajmp followed by address 11. So observe that this address is 11-bit address. So ajmp will causes an unconditional branch to the indicated address by loading the 11-bit address from 0 to 10 bits of the program counter, while the most significant bits of the program counter will remain as it is. And therefore, in this type of the jump, the destination must be within the 2 kilobyte block of the memory. So for example, when we write the instructions such as ajmp 200, then this content will be transferred to the bits of program counter from 0 to 10, and the most significant bits of the program counter will remain as it is. Another instruction that is being used in the jumping is compare and jump if not equal, and it is written as CJNE. So this instruction will compare the magnitude of the first two operands. So this instruction will have the 3 operands. So the magnitude of the first 2 operands will be compared, and the branching will take place if their values are not equal. Branch address is being computed by adding the sign displacement to the content of the program counter PC. The carry flag is being set if the unsigned integer value of the destination address is less than the unsigned integer value of the source byte, else the carry flag will be cleared. So for example, we can write this instruction such as CJNE a comma direct comma relative address. So in this instruction, one can easily observe that there are 3 operands. So initially the content of the program counter will be incremented by 2. Then the content of memory is being matched with the memory direct. If they are not equal, then the displacement is computed and it is added into the PC, and this new data will be transferred to the PC. In case if content of A is less than the memory, then the carry flag is set to 1. Otherwise, the carry flag is set to 0. Another form of this instruction is CJNE a comma hash data comma relative address. So in this case, the data is being directly given in the instruction itself. So here also the content of the program counter will be incremented by 3, and the content of accumulator and the immediate data is compared. If they do not match, then the displacement will be computed, relative displacement. It will be added into the PC, and this number will be transferred to the program counter PC. If the content of accumulator is less than the data, then the carry flag is set to 1, otherwise it is cleared. Another form of this instruction is CJNE rn, hash data, relative address. So here also the content of the program counter are incremented by 3. Then the content of the register Rn is checked with the data. If they do not match, then the displacement is computed and it is added into PC. And if the content of Rn is less than the data, then the carry flag is set, otherwise it is cleared. Another form of this CJNE is CJNE at RI, hash data, relative address. So operations are almost same. The only thing is that the content of memory wanted by RI is checked with the immediate data. And if they do not match, then only the content of program counter are changed. And also if the content of memory location wanted by RI is less than the data, then the carry flag is set to 1, otherwise it is cleared. Another instruction that is being used for branching is decrement and jump if not 0. It is being written as D, J, and Z. So this instruction will decrement the content of the memory or the register by 1. And if the resulting value is not 0, then it will branch to the relative address. And this relative address is being indicated by the second operand. So in this case, the flags are not affected, and the branch destination is computed by adding the sign displacement value to the content of the program counter. So this instruction can be written as D, J, and Z Rn, relative address. Here the content of program counter are incremented by 2. Then the value of Rn is decremented by 1. And if it is not equal to 0, then the content of the program counter will be changed by computing the displacement or relative address. Another form of this instruction is DJNZ direct, real. So here the content of the memory location is being decremented, and if it is not equal to 0, then the content of program counter will be changed to the relative address. Another form of the instruction is jump if 0, relative address, that is JZ real. If A is 0, then the branch to the address indicated, otherwise execute the next instruction. So here the branching will take place only when if the content of accumulator is equal to 0. The branch address is also computed by adding the sign displacement to the content of the PC after incrementing the PC by 2, and flags are not affected. So whenever we execute this instruction, then the content of program counter are incremented by 2, and the content of A is checked with 0. If it is 0, then the content of program counter will be changed by computing the relative address. Another instruction, these are all conditional instructions because here we are checking for the condition. Jump if not 0, relative address. So if the content of A is not 0, then we can branch to the address indicated. Otherwise, we will execute the next instruction. And again, here also the branch address is being computed by computing the sign displacement, and it has to be added into the content of the PC. So for example, if we execute this instruction, jump if not 0, relative address, then the content of program counter will be incremented by 2. And if the content of A is not equal to 0, then the content of the PC or program counter will be changed. Another conditional branch instruction is jump if carry, JC followed by relative address. So all these instructions where you are using the relative address, these are all 2-byte instructions. If the address is of 16 bits, then in that case, the instruction becomes the 3-byte instruction. So if the carry flag is set, then the branching will take place to the indicated address. Otherwise, the next instruction will be executed. Flags are not affected, and the destination address is also computed by adding the sign displacement to the content of PC after incrementing the content of PC by 2. So when we execute this instruction, PC will be incremented by 2, and if the carry flag is 1, then the PC will be changed. Another form of the conditional jump instruction is jump if no carry relative address. If the carry flag is not set, then the branch will text plus to the address indicated. Otherwise, we will execute the next instruction. So here also PC will be incremented by 2, and content of CY carry flag is being checked. If it is 0, then the PC content will be changed. So one can easily observe that in all such conditional jump instructions, that is JNC, ZZ, and DJNZ, these instructions are the short jump instructions because they are 2-byte instructions. In these instructions, the first byte will represent the opcode and the second byte will represent the relative address. And the target address is always relative to the value of the program counter. And to calculate the target address, the second byte is being added to the PC of the instruction immediately below the jump. In case of forward jump, the displacement value is always positive and it is in the range of 0 to 127. And in case of backward jump, that is whenever we want to jump to the backward instruction, then in that case, the displacement is a negative value and it can be in the range of 0 to -128 hexadecimal. So now let us go for some simple instruction examples. Suppose we want to write 8051 instructions to the content of A we want to compare the content of A with the content of 20, and if they are equal, then we will store 00 into 1 memory hexadecimal. Otherwise, we will store FF in the 21 hexadecimal memory. So initially, we will suppose our A has a number 25. So move A comma hash 25. Then we will load the data 15 in the location 20. And then we will move 00 to the register R3. We will clear the carry flag. And for the comparison, we will make a subtraction SUBB A comma 20. And then we will check, we will make the use of the condition jump if 0 to the loop 1. And we will decrement R3. In the loop 1, we will see depending upon, because if they are equal or not, that can be decided by making the use of this jump if 0. And in that case, we will shift the content of R3 to the location 21. So you can type this program by using 8051 simulator, such as Virtual Lab 8051 simulator. And when you type this program in the editor window, and when you run this program, if it is correctly typed, then it will be executed. And after the execution of this, you will get the result. Accumulator will be 10H and the content of 21 will be FFH. That is, we know that the content are not same, and therefore the memory location 21 will have the value FF. So one can easily observe from this memory that accumulator is consisting of 10 and the memory 21 is consisting of FF. Another simple program is that we want to write 8051 instruction to rotate the content of A left by 2 positions. So initially we will load some number say to 5 into the accumulator. Then we will load the number 0 to the register R2. And then we will label this instruction RLA. That is, we want to rotate the content of A by left by 1 position. And we will label it as a loop. And jump, decrement, and jump if not 0, R2 comma loop. That is, we will decrement and we will check if the content of R2 is equal to 0. If it is not, then we will go back. So 2 times the loop will be executed. And therefore, whenever you type this instructions and whenever you run these instructions, then after the execution, you will find that your accumulator will hold the value 94 hexadecimal. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by branching instructions and how these branching instructions can be used in the assembly language program for 8051 microcontroller unit. Thank you all for viewing the session.